whining really solves nothing. Now, you can look at a number of different areas and point out the fact that, well, whining doesn't really solve anything. Politics is a good example. Nothing there really comes of it. You see two opposing sides, they get together, and all they do is they whine because they have a certain viewpoint and they want to push it. And a lot of people want to have their way, and they whine and whine and whine, and it's just a bunch of whiners. And the reality is, nothing good ever comes of it. In the end, nothing ever gets solved, and you just make people resent you, right? And the reality is, well, we all do it, okay? There's always something that bothers us, and we whine about it. Because, well, that's the easiest thing, right? The easiest thing is to complain and whine about things when we don't want to do anything about it. So I see a lot of this coming up today. So this is why I'm bringing this up. Because I'm seeing a lot of this whining, okay? Nobody wants to take real responsibility for their situation. They don't want to say, hey, you know what? My situation is this way because, and here's what I'm going to do to fix it. No. Nobody wants to actually look at the problems face on and solve them. They just want to whine about it. Right? Politics. I mean, come on. How long have they been whining about climate change and not doing anything about it? They just whine about it because that helps them get election votes and all of that. And then once they get into the office, they don't do anything about it. They don't actually solve anything. They just whined about it so they can get their way. But it didn't solve anything. So I see a lot of this in, well, social media, people creating content, people reacting to things, people complaining about this and that. Now, I have to be careful in this video because I don't want to whine, but, sometimes I come across as whining, and I realize that's not 100% mature, and it doesn't do anyone any good here. So if we could all sort of keep ourselves in check and realize that whining doesn't really get us anywhere, then we might be able to, solve real problems. Because I think that's maybe more important than sort of whining about things. The reality is we're latching on to trends, okay? People on the internet right now, they're latching on to outrage and all of that kind of, controversial stuff. So more people are whining about things because whining seems to get more views, or it gets more traffic, or it gets more people checking them out, right? The short-term candy bar is being dangled in front of everyone's noses, and of course everyone wants to sort of get a piece of that chocolate bar, candy bar. The only concern is I think we're missing out on constructive, positive content creation, maybe things that can actually help and benefit the world. We're kind of moving away from that because we have all of these agendas that we're trying to push forward. And I don't think it's really going to work out in the end. Now, you can look at the most successful business people, okay? The people who are billionaires. Does it look like they're whining at all? They're not really whining. They're going about their days, and we're talking the real successful business people, the people who are literally changing the world with their ideas. And they're not whining. They're just addressing the issues that they see. Let's look at Elon Musk. And I mean, I can use him as an example in so many of my videos, but I've done pretty good at not going there. But if you look at Elon Musk, he's not whining about the fact that there are no electric cars. He's just building electric cars. Okay, he's getting electric cars out there. He's not busy whining. Okay, he's getting stuff done, right? Jeff Bezos isn't whining about his divorce. He's busy building Amazon. He's constructing a business, right? He's trying to build a space exploration company here. He's not really whining. Warren Buffett isn't really whining about financial markets going up and down. He's staying true to his path, his investment principles, and it's working out for him. No whining. Steve Jobs didn't really whine. He just pushed to get the product out there that he wanted. And he was focused on his path of building world-changing products. No whining. No time for that. No time messing around on social media. He's actually trying to change the world. So what does this all mean? Well, if we had less whiners and more creators, people who created things that actually mattered, I think we'd all be better off. I think we'd all see progression. So instead of looking at all of these problems of the world and complaining about them, figure out which ones you can solve and solve them. Because whining doesn't really solve anything. No, it doesn't. But if you make the effort to solve these problems, then I think you'll see the solutions. Now, you could look at your own life, okay? Let's look at our own lives, and maybe there are imperfections in your life, things that are bothering you, right? Things that are driving you crazy about your life. And maybe it's your business as well, right? Things that are driving you crazy about your business. No revenues, no results, no sales, nothing. You're not getting the kinds of traffic that you want. And it's just frustrating you. And you're whining about it to people who will listen. You're just going to anyone who will listen. And you're whining about it without actually wanting to solve the problem. Stop, reflect, look at the situation, and figure out the steps you need to take to solve it so that you're not whining. If you find yourself whining too much, it means you're not in control of your situation. You're letting outside forces affect your day. That's not good. Because it's not going to get you anywhere. So maybe there are certain things like your appearance, maybe you're not eating healthy, maybe you're not exercising, and you're whining about the fact that you're overweight or you're sick every month, maybe. I mean, maybe you are just unable to get out of bed, and you're whining about it to anyone who will listen. What do you want people to do? You want people to solve the problems for you? You have to take responsibility and solve them yourself. And obviously this is a difficult thing. I mean, if it was so easy, then no way would be whining. But the reality is doing things to make changes, not easy. It's not easy. It's not easy to put into place. So you might need someone to help you out. Maybe you need a bunch of people to help you out, hold you accountable, but make it constructive. Don't let those people be the whining mechanism where you go there and you whine to them. No, make it so that they're helping you grow. I think that would be much more powerful than you whining to them. And also, they would actually be more interested. Like say, hey, I'm overweight, but I want to solve this. Let's do an exercise routine each week or something. And then you have people holding you accountable, right? Because you do like a group activity. That's a solution. You're actually solving the problem instead of, oh, why am I overweight today? And you're just screaming at the world because of this problem. Look at these things for face value. Look at them. Face value and address them. Same with business. Revenue's not up. Okay. Who do you need to get there? What do you need to do to get there? What are the steps? Write them down, do them. Of course, I'm telling you all this, but like if it were this easy, then everyone would be doing it. No, it's not easy. But what's important to you? What's important to you? What matters? And what are you whining about? What's continuing to nag at you every single day, day after day after day? You're whining about this problem you have. That's the thing you need to solve. You need to do what you can to solve it. Maybe you're not good at sales in your business. Get a salesperson or learn sales, right? Because I'm realizing I haven't been very good at sales for my situation. So I'm actually studying up on sales so that I can be a better salesperson. Because even if I got a salesperson, if I myself can't sell what I'm doing, why would anyone else be able to sell what I'm doing? So I need to get good at sales and communicating and all of that. So I'm studying up on that. You see, that's what you need to do. You need to figure out where your shortcomings are that are nagging at you, that are creating this whining attitude, and you need to address them. No one else is going to hold your hand, honestly. Now, a lot of people, their solution is, well, I'm going to go to therapy. I'm going to whine to them. I mean, what you're doing is you're just emotionally releasing all of the concerns in your head, and it's a temporary fix. But honestly, you're going to depend on this feeling that you need to go to them week after week and complain and whine because you can't address these issues yourself. If you're to do that, get some psychologist or therapist, you might want to talk to them, figure out a mechanism so that you can remove these whining behaviors, right? That's what you want to do, because you don't want to be sitting in therapy whining and not solving problems. So hopefully that's what's happening. Same with like someone who's maybe getting some business coaching help. And all it is just a whining fest. Every time you do these executive meetings or whatnot, and it's a constant whining fest. Oh, why is that department not doing it? Well, why is that department not doing it? It's like he said, she said. I mean, I've gone through this before. People fighting, and you get grown adults fighting and crying instead of actually looking at the problems and addressing them like professionals. Because we let our emotions get in the way. We let our feelings get in the way of things that can be so much simpler and so much easier to take care of. So, catch yourself. Catch yourself on these issues. If you see yourself whining to people, it means it's time for you to address some things. You can look at any number of popular content channels and look at the comment sections of these channels and anything trending, and you can see the amount of complaining and whining that people are doing behind their computer screens because it's easy to hide behind a fake user account, right? And you have all these people whining back and forth, complaining because they have no one else to whine to, or they're not addressing their issues. And I mean, I've been guilty of it too, so I'm certainly not perfect, but I can tell you it's a dangerous road. It's not a healthy road of complaining to people you don't even know, whining on these comment sections. Positivity is a much better approach. It'll do you well. It will do others well. So it's all stuff to think about, right? But at the end of the day, whining does not solve anything, so that would be something to eradicate from your life if you can get rid of it. See yourself getting highly emotional, sort of think through that. Think through what happened there. Walk through it in your head. After it's happened, if it's happened, it's happened. Don't dwell on it, but certainly look at that as it is, unbiased, and just sort of run through in your head how you would approach it next time. The more and more you actually analyze what just happened in these situations, the more you'll get comfortable not doing those weird things, those weird habits such as whining. You want to address this so that it's like a long-term habit, because it's not going to do anyone any good at all. Okay, I think that's good. I think that's covered it for today. Until next time, thanks for tuning in. Toodles.